To learn to scream for years, like you'll put on one of your favorite metal songs and it genuinely inspires you, but all you can do is furiously whisper along. Maybe you've convinced yourself you just don't have the voice for it. Maybe you're scared of doing damage. Maybe you've even tried to scream, but none of the tutorials seem to work for you. And maybe that combination of things has caused you to bury the dream. Maybe you've buried it for 10 years or more. Told yourself it's time to focus on grown-up things, poured your energy into work or a relationship, and let so much time pass that a part of you now believes it's childish to still want this. But if you've clicked on this video, it's probably because some part of you never stopped wanting it. And if that's true, this video is your sign to finally go after it and learn to scream. And I'm gonna give you the top reasons why. Reason number one, your biggest regrets won't be the things you tried, they'll be the things you didn't. Bronnie Ware was an Australian nurse who spent years caring for people in the final weeks of their lives. She recorded the most common regrets they shared with her, and the number one thing people said was, "I wish I had the courage to live a life true to myself, not the life others expected of me." And it wasn't the mistakes that they regret, it was the dreams that they didn't pursue. The thing is, we're all gonna die one day, but we wanna make sure that we minimize our regrets as much as possible to look back and say that we had a full, happy life. So that's why if deep down inside you wanna learn to scream, do it. Reason number two, it's never too late. If you're worried you missed your window to do music or get musically involved, you haven't. I personally suppressed my own screaming goals for over 10 years. And when I was working in the corporate world, I'd see people younger than me with incredible screaming ability and feel this pang of envy. And I thought maybe I'd already missed my chance. But that changed when I started finding examples of people way older than me who decided to go for it anyway. And to give you some context, I've had multiple students reach out to me to learn to scream well into their 50s. And there's actually a band called The Grindmother that's internationally touring, and they are fronted by a grandma that is actually 67 years old. So if she can do it, then you can do it. It's never too late. Reason number three, discomfort doesn't mean you're hurting your voice. And this is something that kept me from trying for a long time. Because when people first attempt screaming, a really common experience is feeling some sort of discomfort. Maybe you feel scratchy, tickly. It gives you a feeling that makes you want to cough. And pretty much everyone online will tell you that discomfort means you're doing damage and you need to stop immediately. Maybe you'll even think to yourself, oh no, I'm hurting my voice. But here's what most people don't know. Because if you feel discomfort, that doesn't inherently mean that you've damaged your voice. Think about it. If you scratch the roof of your mouth, it wouldn't feel great, but you wouldn't spiral into thinking you seriously injured your vocals, right? Screaming discomfort works the same way. Most of the time, when you're feeling discomfort, what you're actually feeling is sensitive tissues getting engaged for the first time, not your vocal cords being damaged. Your vocal cords actually have far fewer sensitive nerve endings than the surrounding tissues, so don't let the fear of discomfort hold you back. As long as you're not yelling at the top of your lungs, your voice will be okay. Reason number four, if the tutorials haven't worked, it's not your fault. So this one is big. I remember going through YouTube tutorial after YouTube tutorial many years ago and feeling like I maybe just didn't have the voice for it and I was doing something wrong. I felt discouraged. And what would make things worse is that all the tutorials would make it all sound so simple. But when I actually tried it, nothing clicked for me. I even had vocalist friends who knew how to scream, and they all kind of made it seem simple. They all would say, oh, all you gotta do is push from your diaphragm and do a deep sigh, or make this sound ah, and push that out, and that's all you gotta do. And if you can't do it, you just gotta practice until it works. So when the advice I tried didn't work for me, it genuinely felt like I'd already run out of options. I was like, man, everybody's making it seem like all you gotta do is this one thing and it should be very easy. It's not working out that way for me. But the reality is that most people who can scream either are people who it just kind of naturally comes to them, or they're people who genuinely can't explain how they got there beyond, I just kept practicing. And neither of those is very helpful if you're stuck on a specific technique issue, because they don't have the framework to diagnose what's gone wrong. So that's why I say, if you can't scream, it's not that you can't do it, you just haven't had the right guidance yet. So to give you a sense of perspective, I can help probably about 95% of people start to do their first scream the first day to the first week. One of the reasons is that I'm not treating everybody as a one size fits all solution, because that's just not how it works. Everybody's voice and relationship with their voice is so different. So in order for them to get results very quickly, oftentimes I'll have to take them through sometimes 80 to 100 different approaches very quickly, rapidly, to see maybe which 10 works best for them. So hopefully that gives you a sense of relief, knowing that the stuff that you've tried, if it hasn't worked for you, it's not a reflection of your genetic capability to do it. It's a reflection of the fact that you just haven't been taught in many different ways. You haven't tried enough things to figure out what works for you. So remember, we only have one life. The last thing that I want to say is that if this is something that you wanted to do and you've suppressed it for years, then I see it as a form of you've been depriving yourself of a certain amount of self-love. And the reason why I say that is that if you've convinced yourself that you can't do it, especially if you've decided instead to put that energy towards other very valid things like, getting a career, honing a relationship, being a provider for your family, I would say that if you do all of that stuff but never pour into yourself, then it just makes life, kind of gray, kind of dreary. And I feel like other people can also kind of feel that. I think that the more you pour love into yourself and do what you want to do, every day you just have a little bit more energy and things are a little bit more colorful, and that helps you do other things in life. It helps you become a better worker. It helps you become a better partner. It helps you become a better provider for your family. That's the last thing I want to end it on, is that it's very valid to do this from a point of self-love. It's not selfish to learn how to scream if this is something that you've wanted to do for a long time. So, okay, if you want to go deeper into learning how to scream from the technical side, a way that actually works, then I made a free video training that you can get by clicking the link in the description. And it'll also coach you through a lot of commonly held misconceptions that hold a lot of people back. And hopefully, this will get you started unlocking your screams, achieving your dreams. If you want to learn how to scream super, super quickly and want to learn about what it is to work with me personally for coaching, then I also offer private one-on-one free consultations just to see if it would be a good fit. But spots are limited. So click the link on the description to get access to all of that. And I will talk to you next time. Peace.